and thank you for inviting us. Good morning, distinguished honorable members of parliament. My name is David Mvula. I'm the executive director for Common Grounds Network.
My name is Shadrick Zulu, Common Grounds Research Assistant.
Thank you. Witness, honorable members, starting with the members on my right.
Good morning, our witness. I'm Jacqueline Sabao, Member of Parliament for Jigankata constituency. I'm the Vice Chairperson of this select committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Witness, good morning. My name is Simon Banda, Member of Parliament for Petauke Central. I'm also a member of this committee. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Stanley Kakobo, representing Kapirimposhi constituency.
Good afternoon, Common Grounds Network. My name is Veso Kakoma Sefulo. I'm a Member of Parliament from Mwandi constituency in the Western Province and a member of the Select Committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Nkombo, Gary Nkombo, representing Mazabuka Central constituency and also a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair, and welcome witness George Kasabila Kandafula, MP Serenje. Thank you.
Good morning, witness. I am Spongile Mwamba. I represent the people of Kasama Central constituency. You're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and good morning, witness. My name is Brian Kambita, Member of Parliament for Zambezi East constituency in Northwestern Province, appointed to be a member of the Select Committee.
Thank you, witness. Mishek Mutetwa Nyambose. I'm the MP for Chasefu constituency, a member of this committee.
Good morning, or it's afternoon. Good afternoon, witness. My name is Muvita Anakoka, Member of Parliament for Luena constituency in Western Province. Thank you.
Good morning, Common Grounds, or good afternoon, Common Grounds Network. Mungandu Davison is my name. I represent very good and humble people of Chama South constituency in Eastern Province.
Samaka Newton Mwinilunga.
Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Common Grounds. My name is Sanford Mwinde from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you. Permanent witness.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, witness. My name is David Mwengwe. I'm with Chawezi Chirwa. We are Parliamentary Counsel from the Ministry of Justice, and we are permanent witnesses to this committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Common Grounds, you are guided to make your submission, and before you do that, I'd like to take this opportunity to confer you with Cap 12, which provides you with the immunity that members of parliament enjoy from prosecution for what they say on the floor of the House, and that you're guided not to willfully mislead this committee, or the reverse applies. Common Grounds, you may make your submission focusing on the salient features, specifically your comments on the clauses proposed as amendments in Constitutional Amendment Bill number 7 of 2025. You may proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. First and foremost, just before I dive into the specific of my presentation, I would want to just give a bit of background that Common Grounds Network, and through myself, I have been part and parcel of 4 constitutional review. I started participating in the constitutional making process dating back from the time of the National Constitutional Conference. So the National Constitutional Conference, that was my first time I attended such conversation on constitutional reforms. Thereafter, I did participate in the technical committee drafting the Zambian constitution, which has brought about the current constitution, which is in force. I did participate in the National Dialogue Forum as a member of the civil society even at that time, and we submitted to the technical committee on constitution amendments just recently. So I'm very conversant with the issues of constitutional reforms and the content of what Bill 7 has to provide. First and foremost, I would want to say it clearly that Common Grounds Network support Bill 7, because we support it because it does two things. We support Bill 7 because it enhances human rights. And human rights, when we talk about human rights, we're talking about guaranteeing the 30 pieces of human rights. And one of them is the right to assembly, the right to association, the right to be recognized as a human being. And through that, we see that Bill 7 guarantees those rights. Secondly, representation of the people, that it enhances representation of the people. So that is why we support this, because if we look at the first issue on delimitation, we support delimitation because it's going to accelerate development in the constituencies, and also ensure that social amenities are improved, and that people, especially young people, get the skills and the education they need. And through smaller constituencies which delimitation aspire to achieve, we will see that more and more people will be empowered, economically, socially, and even politically, because now you have even new members of parliament, new councillors.
Order, witness.
Yeah.
You are guided to follow your submission from page 3, where it says specific submissions to the committee in support of the bill.
Yes, actually I'm on page 3, and I was just speaking to my first issue on delimitation, and we say that we support delimitation.
Well guided.
Thank you. And our second issue on page 3, we support the amendments to the electoral systems from Article 45 to Article 57. We believe that the whole electoral system should be amended to provide for party list proportional representation. Party list proportional representation, we feel that instead of having the first past the post way of electoral system, but I think we are of the view that the constitution should provide for a party list that during election time, instead of the Zambian people voting for a person, but they are voting for a party. This is a practice in South Africa, that they vote for a party. And also that submission, if the electoral system is changed, it takes into our next submission by-election, because that will solve the issues of by-election. So instead of having a member of parliament who errs or who resign or who dies, the simplest thing which will happen at that time is that when that occurs, the party where that member of parliament came from will just choose the next party, choose the member of parliament who was on that list, and that person is reintroduced back into the National Assembly. So there won't be any, there won't be any by-election. He has resigned, she has resigned, they go to the party, give us the next person, the person is introduced, makes a maiden speech, that's it. Parliament continues. On nomination of members of parliament, we support this, because what we are saying is that those who are left out from the proportional representation, and where we are seeking balance of gender equity, the president might appoint the number of X number of members of parliament, which yourselves as members of parliament have to agree how many members of parliament should the president appoint. So it is encompassing upon yourselves to as you go into the house to agree in terms of how many nominated members of parliament, to ensure that there's gender balance. But also we are saying that there are those minority groups, such as the Benism group, who have not been spoken about in the proportional representation. They need to be represented. It's because when you say persons with disability, it's a wide group of people. So you might be focusing on one particular persons with disability, leaving out the other. So this nominated member of parliament, the president now chooses to say, that group is not represented. Let me choose from, so that those can come to parliament. I think when you talk about fresh nomination, I think it has been covered on the issues to do with by-election. I think we'll leave it at that. One of the things we need to speak on is the transitional period. We believe that transitional period, when parliament has been dissolved, I don't think parliament should be dissolved, because it's a security issue. One, when there's a state of emergency, or the declaration, or the president has to make a declaration of war. Honorable Gary Nkombo has been a minister before. He knows that for cabinet to have a quorum is the president and one minister. Well, how will the president call cabinet, so that the president can consult cabinet before he gets to inform parliament, so that with that conversation with parliament, then a declaration of war can be effected. But you find that parliament is not in session, it has been dissolved, cabinet has been dissolved. So we feel that we feel that actually it's Article 20. Actually it's Article 20. If it's not Article 20, it's Article 19 of the Constitution, which talks about declaration of war. But we're missing these things. So we feel that the ministers and parliament should hand over to the new members of parliament, should hand over to the new ministers when the new government is put in place. So there should be some sort of handover. The way the president hands over to the next president, to the president-elect, this should be effected to everyone else who is in the elective position. Presidential petition, we support this with a minor amendment that it should read 14 calendar days, not 14 days, because what is the interpretation with 14 days? So we are of the view that it should be 14 calendar days, being specific. Providing for we support the inclusion of secretary to the Attorney General, that the Attorney General, like we have said in the transitional period, that the Attorney General should also hand over power to his office. This is both the Attorney General and Solicitor General, that they should hand over their office to the next Solicitor General and Attorney General when the new government is put in place. On Secretary to the Cabinet, who are saying that this should be maintained because you need somebody who is with vast experience. 5 years, I think it is not a good time for one to be Secretary to the Cabinet, because that person really has to have a certain, time frame in which they have been, serving in the public sector. And we feel that 10 years is sufficient for one to be chosen. So we are of the view that this should be maintained in the Constitution as it is. Just on issues of the definition of youth, children, we feel that youth is anyone, or a child is anyone below the age group of 18 and below, and youth is anyone who is between the 18 and 35. But what we are saying is that these issues of defining a child in the bill is that we should continue giving power to the parents. That the parents should not be saying, okay, fine, it's a child, the child has got rights. Yes, the child has got rights, but that child has to be, ensure that he or she is guided into adulthood with proper, observation of, their rights as children. Removing parents' guidance or parental guidance, I think it is a huge concern, and that should be safeguarded at all cost. I know why this question is being asked in the bill. That is why I've raised the issues of child consent, parental consent. Because if you remove parental consent, then we'll have problems to have, you have delinquency, adult delinquency in the future, because children could have not been properly guided, as they were, children. So we feel that a child parent should continue. So that is our definition. Although when you talk about incidentals, the last point, we are of the view that this issue of having grade 12 should be done away with. It should be done away with in the Constitution. Those should be in subsidiary law, maybe in the political parties bill. Let political parties decide who has to qualify to come to Parliament. And one of the other things which we need to speak about is issues to do with having a coalition government, just in case that we do not have, a winner at a presidential presidential election. What happens then? And we have got a rerun has been done, another rerun has been done, and there's no ultimate winner. How do we settle for that? So we feel that coalition government should be provided.
Order witness, you must speak to the amendments, not our mandate is within the amendments, not to add proposed amendments. So we are guided to be within the framework of the amendments, being considered under Constitutional Amendment Bill number 7 of 2025.
Yes, and if you look at the bill, Chair, there's incidentals. Unless Minister of Justice, since there's somebody from Minister of Justice can be guided, there's incidentals to this proposed bill. So that means that we can speak about, apart from what we have spoken about, we can speak about any other issue.
No witness, you are guided to stick to.
Thank you, Chair. I think just one issue you have just reminded me is that also it's a support to we support the inclusion of members of parliament to the local government councils. The reason why we support that is that in the spirit of decentralization is that the money is now from there's devolution, so that means that all money is now going to the local councils, and local councils are the ones in charge of development. And it will be important to see members of parliament sitting there, because I believe the people always ask to say, well, there's no development in our constituency, there's nothing the members of parliament are doing. But hardly do people know that even the councils make laws. And they just don't make laws, they even implement development on the ground. So having members of parliament in those councils, it gives them that leverage to also participate, okay, in terms of development works which are happening in their constituencies. So we fully support members of parliament to be in the council chamber. And any other stakeholders who this select committee will recommend that they will should be included to be members of the local council. Chairperson, sufficiently I submit the submission from my organization. Thank you. Unless there are questions, I'll be gladly to respond.
Witness, I see your passion on this issue. Nonetheless, members, that's the submission from Common Grounds Network. If there are any matters of clarification, the witness may be engaged. Honorable Nkombo.
Opportunity, Chairman, and thank you for your submission. I'm inviting you to your comments on the qualifications of Secretary to Cabinet, where you insist that you want the status quo to remain as it is. In the instance that among the PSs, there is no one who has served for a 10-year stretch in the country, and that among the serving PSs, there's no one who has reached that same threshold of 10 years. Wouldn't that create a crisis constitutionally?
Thank you, Honorable Nkombo. Honorable Samakay.
Thank you very much, Chair. Witness, I want to take you to the issue of members of parliament getting into the council. There is a thought that members of parliament play an oversight role on the institutions of government, and council is one of the institutions of government, and therefore there are proponents who are saying, how is it going to be that a member of parliament who plays an oversight role goes in the council and becomes part of the council, and then thereafter he turns around and does his oversight role? How does that play out?
Thank you, Honorable Samakay. Honorable Mwamba.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you so much for your submission. Witness, my point of clarification is on page 5, number 8, on the definition of a youth, a child, and an adult, which are definitions from Article 266 of the Constitution. But I have noted in your submission, you have gone further to speak about age of consent and or other. Is it possible that you could just rectify that according to the proposed amendment? Are you satisfied with the provisions to amend 266 in relation to the definition of a child, a youth, and an adult, unlike speaking to age of consent and all other statements that may be misleading? I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Wamba. Honorable Sabal.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is on the limitation of constituencies. The third last sentence of your submission, you witness, you said that you support this because they will be securing land rights, and also they will be periodically adjusting boundaries to reflect population shifts. So I want you to clarify this submission, how delimitation will help the people to secure land rights, and also the periodical adjusting of boundaries. I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Sabal. Witness, you are guided to respond to those points of clarification.
Thank you, Chair. It's just that Honorable Nkombo has left, so I'll wait for him to come back. But sufficiently is that if the permanent secretary...
Witness, you can just submit. He'll be abreast with your response.
Thank you, Chair. I think on issues of Secretary of the Cabinet, we are saying is that should be maintained because government is inheritable. That means that if the current permanent secretaries, none of them have served as 10 years, they can still go into the pool through the PSMD and check which permanent secretary are still living, and those could be appointed as Secretary of the Cabinet. I know there are a number of those permanent secretaries who have served. Like I indicated, Chair, is that I started engaging myself, my organization through me, who have been engaging in governance issues. That means that from the time of MMD, I've monitored, I've engaged with various government administration, and sufficely I've come to note that there are a number of individuals who have served this country more than 10 years at PS level. So it's a matter of just going into the pool at PSMD, pick one, and appoint. So that number is there. Issues to do with the council, I think this is a text which the House has to come up, has to coin in terms of what would be the role of the members of parliament in the council. For us, what our view is on this is that there's decentralization now, devolution is taking place. Members of parliament are being asked or questioned about them developing their constituencies. They cannot answer because now everything is happening at local level. And what we are saying is that it would be just prudent for members of parliament to sit there also, to be part and parcel of that council, to debate. They should be part of the debate of the council. But how that will revolve, I think Ministry of Justice and people in parliament who have to find a way of their role in there. But for our point of view is that we want members of parliament to be part and parcel of the decision-making process in the council, because through that then we the people, the citizen, who can make you accountable to say, hey, you promised us, both the councillor and the MP promised us a school, where is it? So the members of parliament cannot say, no. Me, I'm at national level, I'm only making laws. It is the issue of the councillor to ensure this is done. But through that, they could be both elected officials could be made accountable, because now the members of parliament are sitting in the council. So I don't see any mischief whatsoever in terms of why they should not be there. I think it would be the best, since now we're talking about devolution, and it is part of the constitutional requirement that the country or government, the executive, should devolve to subnational level. Since that's a directive of the constitution, I think it will be prudent that members of parliament should be there. What we are, Honorable Mwamba, we can simply say that we are satisfied with the provision to amend and define who a child is, who a youth is, who an adult is. The issue of consent is just to help members of parliament, because I know the background issue behind this. That is why I've said parental guidance should always be guaranteed. It's a human right for parents to give guidance to their children. As you go along in this process before parliament is dissolved, you remember why I'm bringing in this issue. On delimitation, we say yes. It is a right. It is a right of yes. We are saying
point of order, Chair. Chair, the witness on the floor of the House has dragged members of parliament into his submission. Yet, you are meant to stick to your submission, respond to questions, because we are not aware of the insinuations that you have stated on the floor to say that members of parliament are aware. Could you please retract your statement that has now compromised the situation of members of parliament being aware of the issue of age of consent when we are not aware? I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Witness, you are guided. We are not dealing with the Bill of Rights. The 13 clauses have got nothing to do with the Bill of Rights. You are therefore guided accordingly.
Chair, I retract that statement. Thank you. I don't know, Honorable Member, if that suffice. Or Chair, I don't know if that suffice.
Yes, witness, please proceed and be brief in your response.
Thank you, Chair. I was just responding that citizens have got a right to own land, and we are saying that through delimitation, administration for acquisition of land will be made easier. So that's a point we are trying to make in that statement. And we are saying that whatever delimitation seek to achieve, that it is centered on empowering the citizen, and that includes empowerment of land. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Witness, before Honorable Sabah, Honorable Kandafla comes in, I note on page 4 of your submission, you are saying cabinet ministers should continue being cabinet ministers until the transition period, and you are referring to when it comes to declaration of war, the president is mandated by the constitution to consult cabinet. Where are you getting this position, and which maybe you could refer to the specific article in the constitution that mandates the president to consult cabinet in that situation? Honorable, just bank that one. Honorable Sabah.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is a follow-up on his response to my question. I asked about the issue of the securing land rights when you do delimitation, because when you talk of delimitation, it's on constituencies. I'll give you an example of Mazabuka and Magoy. It's one district called Mazabuka district, but there are two constituencies. So it's possible that we can delimitate Mazabuka Central into two, then there will be 3 constituencies, but they'll have one council which is in charge of land administration. So how do you connect with the land rights in relation to delimitation of constituencies? That's what I wanted to find out.
Honorable Kandafwa.
Thank you, Chair. I think it's just a follow-up question on the taking of MPs back to the local authorities. Witness, when you look at the functions of the MP, they do registration, they do oversight, and then if they were to go to the council and they start doing all those other things, until seeing some conflict of interest, because it's like right there, unless you are telling me that I've got a jacket, then I've got a shirt and a vest. When I go there, probably I remove a jacket and a shirt. I remain with a vest. Otherwise, if I go with the whole lot, then it's like I'll just be doing something beyond. Thank you.
Witness, you may proceed to respond.
I might not have the constitution. I don't have the constitution with me, the whole lot of the text, but I believe that should be.
Order, witness.
Okay.
You have a copy there, and I'll refer you to Article 81(10) of the Constitution. Article 81(10) of the Constitution. Maybe if you read it, because I think you may need to expunge some of your submissions. They're quite not factual, particularly on this issue. Honorable Nkombo.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I seek your indulgence that due to brevity of time, I think you have just schooled the witness about the statement he gave, so it would be nice for him to just retract that bit so that we can continue with business.
Witness, you can proceed and attend to other questions, but you may need to retract some of that in your submission.
Thank you, Chair. I retract the part of our submission on transition, taking note that Article 81, sub-article 10 provides for a state where the president may recall parliament. That is just one bit. But also what we are saying is that we feel that the ministers should continue in office because there should be that type of consultation that which needs to be there. So I feel that through this, the provision, we can provide for that. I think there was a question again on land, that delimitation. That's what delimitation is all about. Delimitation is about empowerment. It's about you delimitate so that the benefits of delimitation, when there's a member of parliament or councillors, the benefit of that is that there should be economic empowerment. And part of that economic empowerment, we feel that should be part and parcel of owning land. Should be it's a right. Okay, guaranteeing the 30 pieces of human rights, land to property. So I believe that empowerment is sufficiently provided for, because it will be part and parcel of what the benefit will be when some of the constituencies, what do you call it, are narrowed down. the way we are talking about CDF, there can be a pronouncement in the CDF in 2027 that some of these should, those who have been empowered with land, they can be able to develop land through agriculture and so on and so forth. So I believe that delimitation also empowers, bring about such an empowerment. Yes, you're talking about MPs in councils. We feel that it's a good thing. Let them go into the councils because, development is happening now at local level because as directed by the constitution that central government should be.
Order. Yeah, you already attended to that.
Yeah, there was a follow-up question again.
Yeah. So for the avoidance of repetition.
Okay.
So witness, we thank you for your submission before this committee. The committee has taken note of your submission, and at this time would like to lift that immunity that was bestowed on you to allow you to continue enjoying the greater immunity that you already enjoy. And witness, we wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for calling upon us.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. You are watching Parliament Television, the only station dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you. Now, take over controls from Tazapir, who's been here from 9 or about 10. That's somewhere there. I am Joe Agatam, and of course, our sign language interpreters, Chola Kaoma and Jason Manda. Remember, the select committee, which was appointed to scrutinize the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly number 7 of 2025 bill, is sitting to receive submissions from various stakeholders, and the committee did just receive submissions from Common Fund Network, and thereafter, before that, the committee also received submissions from National Council for Students Union, the National Institute for Public Administration School of Law, and I also do expect the committee to receive submissions from a consortium of civil society organizations for good governance and constitutionalism. Now, we take a look at some of the objects of this bill, which is National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. The first one is to revise the composition of the National Assembly to provide for the increase in the number of constituency-based seats from 156 to 211 to actualize the delimitation report by the Electoral Commission. Revise the electoral system for election to the National Assembly to provide for a mixed member proportional representation electoral system to guarantee the representation of women. Also to revise the provision relating to filing of fresh nominations on a resignation of a candidate, revise the provision relating to by-elections, revise the number of nominated members of parliament, harmonize the term of parliament and council to achieve a 5-year term, provide a vacancy in the office of minister, provincial minister, 90 days before general elections, remove the 2-term limit for office of mayor and council chairperson, revise the composition of council to include members of parliament holding constituency-based seats. The other objective is revise the qualification for appointments to the office secretary of the cabinet, provide for the attorney general and solicitor general to continue in office after general elections until new office bearers are appointed. Revise the definition over the words child and adult, provide for clarity on the period within which an election petition shall be concluded, and provide for matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing. So those are some of the objectives of the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. Continue watching Parliament TV. We'll be back soon.
Watch the Parliamentary Select Committee that is scrutinizing the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill number 7 of 2025, live on Parliament Television and radio on Saturday 6th and 7th December 2025. Stay informed and engaged with the legislative process on